spreading. The U.S. declaring a public health emergency over the monkeypox outbreak.
The Federal Reserve is expected to announce another rate hike just moments from now.
China has asked its banks to produce a list of bad debts. There's a growing risk of more defaults. China's property
COVID
sector...
cases are up. Tonight, COVID cases are up as the BA.5 variant spreads like wildfire.
I'm not feeling so great.
Experts call it the worst version of Omicron yet, now the dominant strain in the U.S. according to the CDC. It's not only more vaccine resistant, but it's also more highly transmitted.
Hello and welcome. If you are new to the channel, my name is Patrick, also known as Lansing, and I am ecstatic to share my thoughts on the new Backfire Hammer Sledge. As the title alludes to, I'm giving away a pair of Cloud Wheel Rovers to celebrate the fact I recently hit the 5,000 subscriber threshold. Check out the description to learn how you can win this set. Now let's get right into the review, starting with the deck. The Hammer Sledge features a composite deck design, and I love it. Backfire as of late has mastered the deck flex with the release of the Zealot S and the Hammer Sledge. Now I know you guys are thinking, please tell me this deck is stiffer than the deck on the original Hammer, and it is. The flex on the Hammer Sledge feels very similar to the flex on the Zealot S, a board that I think has one of the best deck setups on the market.
A lot of board companies are coming out with boards that are like carbon fiber, and I have nothing against that, but I think that this type of manufacturing process is actually a little bit more difficult to do, and I think that's why you don't see a lot of companies trying to go with composite type decks like this, because it's hit and miss. I've been on some boards that tried to do this and it was too flexy, right? So this is a hit and miss type of process, and this is one of the most comfortable boards that I've been on.
The board features a drop-down design, which is great for hard accelerations and braking. The UV material and shock absorption material around the edges definitely gives the board a premium look and feel. Paired with one of the best mass production decks are double kingpin trucks featuring 99A barrel bushings. While this setup will be great for the vast majority of riders, I had to swap out my bushings to riptie bushings, which are some of the best on the market, to get the stability I require as a heavier rider. Brad, the owner of Ripties, is amazing, and if you are in the market of bushings, give them a holla. The carving experience on the board is really nice, yet the board remains stable at higher speeds. I think the trucks are well balanced for all styles of riding. Next, I want to discuss the wheel setup, but before I do so, I want to share a very, very special announcement. Many of you know that my son and I recently published a children's book about our journey of getting into e-skate, but I am proud to share that we have a new book hitting the market which shares our journey of learning how to ride EUCs. The book will be available in about 1 week on Amazon, Amazon Europe, and other book retailers. I will post a link in the description. Follow our social media for more details. Now let's get right back into the review. The Hammer Sledge features pneumatic tires, and of course, because this is a belt drive board, riders can customize the ride experience by purchasing aftermarket wheels like the Cloud Wheel Rovers that we are giving away on the channel. The remote also allows riders to change gear ratios when different size pulleys or wheels are added to the board. The drivetrain uses two 1600 watt 6370 motors with 155 kV. The acceleration and torque are extremely impressive. The board easily powers up hills. In many cases, depending on the incline, the board can accelerate uphill. Backfire advertises that the board can achieve up to 31 miles per hour. As a 225-pound rider with about 10 pounds of gear, I was able to hit 29 miles per hour without even trying. You all know that I am not a top speed guy, as I am more interested in torque and acceleration, which is why I do not do top speed tests. I ride as fast as my environment allows me to safely, but I have no doubt that this board can achieve the stated top speed, if not more.
Didn't bring all the cameras and stuff because I knew it was going to rain. I'll let y'all see it. It's starting to rain now. I'm like flying 25, 26, 30 miles an hour trying to get somewhere with some shelter so I don't get wet. So I want to talk a little bit about these brakes. This is my second four-wheel drive board. And to me, it's game changing because oftentimes we think about like torque and acceleration and hill climbing capability because you're rocking with like a four-wheel drive. The thing that has probably impressed me the most and why I'm going to be hard pressed why four-wheel drive may not be my thing is because of the braking, particularly because I'm considered what's called a heavier rider. So the added comfort and ease that I know that I can stop on a dime is absolutely amazing. Right now I'm running the brakes stock as Backfire sent it. I could even turn them up more, but it is not even necessary. The braking is crazy on this board and it stops on hills quickly. And you really have to brace yourself when you're about to stop. And a lot of, when you're braking, you always lean back anyway. You kind of plant your feet. You not only do you have to plant, but you have to like push off if you're braking really hard when you're flying at high speed. So that's definitely something worth mentioning.
The battery setup is an interesting one for a few reasons. The first being that the enclosure flexes to support the flexible deck system. The battery is also polymer using 150 amps of LiPo power. Backfire advertises that the Sledge has double the current of the original Hammer, as well as 58% more capacity. In addition to the battery and ESC, the enclosures also house red and white lights, which can be activated and deactivated manually via the remote. The light comes in handy increasing rider visibility at night. As it relates to range, I will conduct a range test later. However, I can report that the battery sag for the most part is non-existent. I was able to reach speeds in the mid-20s even with just 1 bar of power using 4-wheel drive. This is some crazy stuff. Now to discuss the component that is receiving the most attention, the remote and the ESC. Backfire knocked it out of the park with this design. In addition to looking magnificent, the remote is jam-packed with functionality. The large indicator screen shows rider speed, mileage ridden, speed mode, and even changes color depending on the speed mode riders are in. To take it a step further, the remote also allows riders to customize the riding experience. Within seconds, riders can adjust the acceleration and braking curves, monitor individual battery cells, change gear ratios, and turn on fingerprint functionality, to name a few. To say it quickly, this remote will make you pull a toenail out of your mouth. Additionally, the feel of the remote is unlike any remote that I own. This remote makes competitor remotes look like toys. The aluminum components add weight to the remote, really giving it a premium look and feel. Finally, the setup of the speed modes may be the most practical on the market. I said this a long time ago in my Zelly review, and I was the first person to introduce this concept. The ability to change speed modes with just one click is so much better than having to cycle through 3 or 4 modes to get to the one that you like. This remote and ESC is really on another level for mass-produced boards. And now for one of my favorite sections of my reviews, the nitpick section. Honestly, there is so much to like about this board, but I managed to find a few things to nitpick. Number 1, The red lights appear to work only when using turbo mode. Personally, I would like the ability to turn on the red lights whenever I want. Number 2, I would love to see a protective cover for this sexy, practical remote. Honestly, I would not be surprised in a few weeks to see Backfire address this need with the remote cover that can be purchased as an accessory. As of now, these are the only nitpicks that I have. If I discover more during later tests, I will let you guys know. And that's going to take me into my final thoughts. Backfire did an amazing job with this board. The styling and attention to detail is evident on nearly all areas. The power button is sealed. The charge port stays closed when not in use. There is a protective material around the edges of the board to protect it from impact. The ESC and remote are standard setting, and the performance is all of that in a bag of chips with the soda. I think the board is a physical manifestation of where Backfire is taking the company. While I have not had any conversation with Backfire, I can only imagine the next zealot with some of these technologies included from the Hammer Sledge. So who is this board for, you may ask? I say it's for speed enthusiasts, individuals who want a board that has a warranty that will be honored, consumers who want a board that provides flex and cushions their joints, dogs who like to eat bones. Nah, I'm just joking. I think you guys get what I'm saying. This board has a place with almost anyone. If you are interested in purchasing this board, please remember to use my Backfire links to support the channel. As always, I will see you at the top because the bottom is too crowded. Peace.